Welcome back to Meeting of the Minds. I'm Gene Zanetti, your coast-to-coast mindset coach from Wrestling Mindset. We have our daily meeting, our Meeting of the Minds. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you text Mindset1 to 84576 for our daily motivation blast. Every day we provide you with a motivational quote of the day. It's free. Text Mindset1 to 84576. And this way you're always ahead of the game. On July 16th for coaches, we're having a coaches clinic. It's going to be the biggest extravaganza of 2020 as far as wrestling minds. We literally have Tom Ryan, Coach Goodale, Bono. We got the owner, we got the entrepreneur of Milwaukee, who we know Kyle Dake is one of their sponsors, and a lot of other top wrestlers are sponsoring and repping Milwaukee. We got the entrepreneur. So he's going to be there with us. See a question here? All right. Let's go, team. July. I love wrestling too, man. I hope there's a season. What do you think? Give me some hearts if you want to see wrestling season this year. Let's see it. How do you wrestle freely without thinking of giving up points for big attempts? Well, Jersey Nels, it's very simple. When the way you wrestle is more important to you than winning or losing, that's how it happens. You have to honestly get yourself to the point where the way you compete is more important than the outcome of competition. I get it. I know that might sound a little bit funny at first, but you're going to have to wrestle with that a little bit in your mind. Just like we wrestle with our opponents. Who's your biggest opponent? Who wants to type underneath here? Who's your biggest opponent? Who is your biggest opponent? Someone type it underneath, please. Who's your biggest opponent? Type it underneath. Ourself, right? That your biggest opponent's yourself, my biggest opponent's myself, and that's the same for all of us. Thank you, yes. And Kyle Dake, of course. That's right, we're scared of the blonde boy. No, but seriously, what it comes down to is we're not only wrestling against our opponents, we're also wrestling against ourselves. So we're Jordan Burroughs, that's correct. If you win the battle within, you'll win the battle from without. Or not necessarily, because you could win the battle within, but not win the wrestling match. But you're going to be more likely to bring out your potential. Remember, you can't guarantee success. There's nothing I could say to you, there's nothing any coach can give you that will guarantee success. It's not going to happen, so forget about it. That's what we call the ideal model. That's living in a utopia that does not exist. What you do, what a coach can give you, what I can give you, is I could increase your chances. I can't guarantee success if you do all of our wrestling mindset information, but I can guarantee that I will raise your chances. So it's the same thing. If you win the battle within, you're going to raise your chances of bringing out your potential, and that's what you should be looking for. Don't think so much about the win or loss. Think about how could you squeeze every ounce of potential out of yourself. If I could squeeze every ounce of potential out of myself, think about it. Imagine a wet rag, and you just keep squeezing it and squeezing it. You keep getting water out of it. That's exactly what you want to do with yourself. You want to squeeze as much potential out of yourself as you possibly can. And the way you're going to squeeze that potential out is you're going to go ahead and you're going to focus more on how I compete. So that's why when I say focus on effort, attitude, and aggressiveness, I really mean that. I really mean when you're out there competing, effort, attitude, and aggressiveness. And the outcome takes care of itself. And maybe it doesn't, but who the heck cares? I can't control. Let's say one of those opponents that are on there, like you mentioned, Kyle Dake or Jordan Burroughs. Now, hey, look, I'm all about go out there. Anything could happen. Pull off the big upset, right? And I was a college wrestler in my own right. I was ranked in the top 20 in the country. So were my younger brothers. That being said, let's be realistic. I'm probably not going to beat David Taylor or Kyle Dake or Jordan Burroughs unless something freak happens, which of course is always a possibility, but let's be real, it's probably not going to happen. That being said, my job is to focus on getting every ounce of potential out of myself. If I'm wrestling Jordan Burroughs or Kyle Dake, make them field my shots. I'm not thinking about Jordan Burroughs double. I'm thinking about my low single. Let him make it a point where he has to do a snap and spin on me as opposed to me fielding doubles, which chances are I'm going to probably have to do anyway. But focus on getting to your offense. Get to your tie, get to your offense. That's what you want to be thinking about. Get to your shot. So, doesn't matter who you're going up against. Don't think about winning or losing. Focus on your effort, your attitude, and your aggressiveness. Like I said, you might be going up against the David Taylor, Kyle Dake, or Jordan Burroughs, and maybe you're not going to win. I mean, it can happen. Anything can happen, right? You got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a heartbeat. You got a chance. Robles proved you don't even have to have that. You don't even have to have two legs, right? So the point is, anyone can be beat. It's not like you're going to a gunfight with a knife. And even then, something can happen, right? But it's you got 2 people out there. You got the same tools. You're in the same weight class. Same weight class. They don't have an S on their chest. There's no Superman, right? Even if it is Jordan Burroughs or David Taylor or Kyle Dake, doesn't matter. But go out there, and even if the chances are against me, don't focus on winning or losing. Just give it your best effort. Take chances. Be gutsy. Err on the side of gutsy. Go for it. All right, Coach. See you here. Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Gene? How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing well.
Excellent. So what's been going on? What's going on with the team? What's everyone doing these days?
We're just preparing. There's a little bit of wait and see, but we have our workouts, and everybody's at a different stage right now as far as what they're accessible to or have access to. But we're waiting and seeing right now, and praying for the best, right?
That's right. That's all we could do. Do you think there'll be wrestling because of stupid Rona? We don't know. We're praying for the best, man.
That's out of our control, right?
That's right. That's right. So tell us, what makes your school different? Why are people coming to you?
Yeah, so we're a small school in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We about 1,600 plus students on campus. So we have really close-knit faculty to student ratio. And I think that's what sets us apart. I think that's what was helpful for me to succeed. My professor saw the time and energy that I put into my classwork and my coursework, and they reciprocated that same energy level, and ensured that I met the goals that I had set for myself, but also set me up for success out of college.
Excellent. And what are some of your philosophies as a coach and your coaching staff?
Yeah, so this is what I'm excited to talk about with you. I think it ties well into the mindset training that you guys promote and send out. But our philosophy is 10 for 10. That's our mantra, right? And simply from an athletic standpoint, from a NCAA level, 10 national champions at 10 different weight classes is the ultimate goal, right? And so what 10 for 10 stands for is, it's the relentless pursuit of perfection academically, athletically, and socially through respect, courage, and diligence. And so,
awesome.
Yeah, that's what we look for, and we tie those values and that mindset into the 3 pillars that we're focused on as a college student athlete.
Excellent. So you threw a few words out there. I know that each one of those has a story or some lesson behind it. So let's break that down for everyone, step by step. Yeah,
sure. So first, we take the academic pillar, right? Obviously, student comes first in that scenario. So from a respect standpoint, we're looking to be respectful to our peers. I think it's important to understand that there's a certain way to do things. There's a certain way to live your life. And I think there's a certain way that we have to view and approach others. And I think that's important to hold on to and a good guidepost for us. And then from an athletic standpoint, we have that respect core value where, that's ultimately respect to our competition whether it's the competitor that's on the mat with us or the opposing coach, but it's also officials, it's table work, it's fans, it's facilities, right? It's all those things that are going to put Blue Jay Wrestling in a positive light, right? We're doing things that are going to make us look good and give us an opportunity down the road. And then from a social standpoint, right, we're respecting the community that we live in, right? We're giving back to the community. We're respecting our peers. And we know that we're a representation of our brand and our culture. And it's important for us to represent that well on and off the mat. And so then we approach our courage core value. And, academically, we're looking to seek out challenges, right? We have to have an idea of what we're good at and what we're not good at. And it's important to embrace those challenges and those opportunities to sharpen ourselves. We have to be courageous to seek help. We have to be humble and humble ourselves to know that we don't have all the answers and look for that help and don't be afraid to ask for it. And then, respect or have the courage to be a part of the solution, right? Don't just sit back and wait for things to happen, right? Take a stand for something and be a part of the solution and not the problem. And athletically, wrestlers are, inherently courageous, right? Because it's mano-a-mano, one-on-one once we toe that line, right? So, we're going to be courageous and give our opponents our best effort in every situation. We're going to seek out those challenges, whether it's the top guy in the country or it's the last guy in the country, right? We have to seek those challenges and we have to be courageous because that's where growth happens. And just seeking out that failure, like I said, seek it out, be courageous, take the chance, and learn from it. And then from a social standpoint, again, we want to stand for what is right? Be courageous and stand for something, and challenge others, right? Hold others accountable, especially the guys on our team. That's a big component for us is be courageous to have the hard conversations with each other and propel each other forward. From another social standpoint is we have to look out for the guys that are lower on the totem pole, right? That's a natural thing. It's a part of the hierarchy, right? But stand for those who are marginalized, right? And be there and be a voice for them if you have the opportunity and the platform to do so. But then, diligence is our third core value, and the way that applies to all three of those pillars is pretty basic, right? Wrestlers are the hardest working athletes out there, arguably, right? So we're going to take that same effort and energy that we put into wrestling and carry that over academically and socially. The Vince Lombardi quote, chase perfection, you're going to catch excellence, right? So if we continue to chase perfection, we're going to find success in everything that we do. And, just from a wrestling standpoint, we're working for everything, right? Be diligent in every situation from whistle to whistle. Take advantage of every opportunity. Don't let anything go to waste. 4 years is a small window, right? We don't have much time to make the most out of wrestling. So why not do it right now? So continue to work for everything that you have. But awesome. That's 10 for 10, and that's what Blue Jay Wrestling stands for. We just implemented this about 4 years ago, and each year we just add another layer to it. And I'm really excited for the direction of our program, and these things are really important to me.
That's awesome. I love the organization. Man, there was so much that you said. I was like, I had one thing in my head, and then I had two, and then I had three, and then I basically quit. Communication.
Sorry, yeah.
Err on the side of being gutsy. If you think you have all the answers, that means you need to change your questions. Oh boy, it's so many good things you said there. Really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I wanted to get into tonight is like for those student athletes that are looking to be recruited.
Yes.
We're in a situation right now where there's a lot of question marks, and our values is what's going to drive us, right? It's what's going to set us up for success or failure. And what we consume and what we're putting in and taking in, right? What content are we consuming? What are we looking at? And those type of things. So I encourage, I listened to your podcast with Ryan Warner on Wrestling Changed My Life, and you guys were talking about that self-reflection. And I think that's a huge component, right? Me coming out of high school, I struggled with with that. And, you know, my coaches instilled the values, but then I let them go to do something else, right? And, you know, reflecting back on that, obviously it was bad decisions, but, you know, you live with the mistakes that you make and you move forward. But yeah, take a look at yourself and see what values are important to you. And then take a look at the things that you're consuming, and are those things building you up and fueling you up, getting you to where you want to be?
Absolutely. And when you're living on, my brother always says this too, but when you have so many areas that you're trying to excel in, like you mentioned, and you're on that path for excellence in all of them, it actually does become a lot simpler where decisions are, is this moving me closer or further away from my goal? It's almost like there are no neutral decisions. The more things you're trying to do well, there aren't neutral decisions, because you're either moving towards it or away from it. This is either because it's going to pull you in one direction or not. So yeah, talk about that. That's big.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the reason that we set up these values, right? You know, I listened to the interview you had with Joe Fabia, who I wrestled with going into college, and super talented, and I respect everything that he's doing over at Stevens. But yeah, you know, the NWCA has given us an opportunity to learn and grow and be better stewards for the sport of wrestling. You know, organizations like FCA Wrestling, USA Wrestling is putting out content that you can consume and get better at building your brand, right, and professional development. And I'm tying that back into the core values, right? The core values is important to establish to help guide you, right? Those are your guideposts, your beacons, right? Because we are going to veer off. We're going to fall short, and we're going to get lost. And if we don't have that established, or those core values established, we're not going to have anything to turn back to, right?
Right, because what do you point to when times are tough? It's like if you're scattered, if you don't have a plan, if you're not organized, and then things start kind of spiraling out of control, it's like you need that creed to go back to. You need those guiding principles that are gonna pull you in. Even, you know, this even goes for focused people. Forget about people who aren't focused. I mean, of course, it reels in them too. But even the most focused people, we got to be reeled back in. And it's kind of like that lighthouse. That's, you know, during the storm, you look back to that lighthouse every time. It's that return to order.
Yep, that's right. You know, and there's being a Division III coach. I'm an assistant. It's not a full-time job, right? But a little blessing and a curse is that I get to work with. I have a full-time job, and the jobs or careers that I've taken on have done an excellent job of modeling that, right? You know, this isn't just special to wrestling. You know, the company that I work for now is driven by their core values. Every decision that they make, how they hold us accountable, is based off of those core values. And you know, I think that it sets us up and makes it better for recruiting purposes, to know that, hey, these are our standards, right? This is the platform for excellence, right? And if it's going to take more than that, right? This is the bare minimum that we expect. And if we're falling short of that, then maybe it's not going to be a good fit.
Right. It's like my brother's high school coach used to say, it's like, hey, if you don't want to be here, leave, go. Like, we'll find someone else. And it's not meant in a bad way. It's just that, we're right here with these principles. Are you on board with that? And this, I think that's, even though that might seem harsh at first, that's full transparency.
Yeah.
I mean, in a day and age where everyone's worried about being fooled or hoodwinked or screwed, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, it's like, here's our values. If you want to be along with this, join the club. If not, no hard feelings, you know, but not on this team.
That's absolutely right. And that's, you know, that's one thing when I talk to recruits, that's what I encourage. Hey, these are values. What's important to you, and how can you identify with them? And there's no hard feelings. If you, if you know, if that's not your thing, and it's, you know, kind of, you know, rah-rah or too marketing, right? Then that's fine. You know, we want guys that are going to be good fits for us, and we want to be a good fit for them. And that's where you're going to find success. So my encouragement to student athletes that are looking to get recruited is, you know, find a program. First, self-reflect, right? Figure out what your values are, and then find a program that matches that, so you can get the best out of yourself and be an asset to that program.
Yeah, that's a super great perspective and super mature. You know, just you know, the whole mentality to have, like you're saying right there, because again, it's not personal. I remember early in business too. It's like, okay, we got to get everyone. We got to fit these square pegs in these round holes. It's like, let's bring everyone in, just bring them in. And I'm the guy that's like the all inclusive. And then I realized like that's not really charity to them or to us.
Yeah.
And it's here's where we're at. If you're on board, come, and if not, like you said, it's no hard feelings. You could be upfront with me, you could shoot me straight, and it's no problem. And if our paths cross and interests align along the way, then so be it. If not, we wish you the best.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think looking at where we are in the current climate, right, with the uncertainty and tying that back into mindset, right, we have to prepare ourselves for that because we don't know what's going to happen, right? And the best thing that we can do is prepare either way, prepare our mindset to accept it, and prepare ourselves to move forward and just constant improvement all the time, right? Luke Moynihan, I see that you're on there. What's Kaizen is the word that they use, right? Constant improvement. So
that's right. That's right. That's right. Consistency, intensity, and constant improvement. Right. Kaizen. A lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people do know it, but that's it. That's great stuff. All right, Todd, how do we send more people your way? Social media pages, websites. Where do we kick them? Yeah.
etown.edu is our college's website, at Blue Jays WR on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, at Quint_1 spelled out ONE. That's my personal account. And then, find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, interact with us there, complete our recruitment form. It's in the link in the bio. Give us a follow and get in touch with us.
That's right. We'll send people your way. Great stuff. I love what you guys have. That's great. Any way we can help you, just let us know.
That sounds great. Gene, thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate your passion for the sport and using your platform to give Division III schools and smaller institutions a voice and an opportunity to showcase what they're about. And God bless you, man. Thank you for everything.
God bless you too. Great stuff in this wrestling community. It's that fraternity, the brotherhood, and sisterhood to the family, the wrestling family that we have. Not only men, women, also other countries all around the country. So it's great stuff. Tremendous fellowship. Thank you very much for joining us. Like I said, any way we can help, just let us know.
Excellent. All right. Gene, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Take care. We'll see you. Bye.